All right, guys, day 3. All right, as I told you guys yesterday, we had some electronics difficulties. I've got this big Alienware 17, the new one, and it takes like 350 watts constant power to charge, and that actually means if you get a power inverter that you're gonna need like a 500, around somewhere around there. So I had this 400 watt that works and doesn't work off and on. It's working right now, but it goes in and out. I bought that one from a truck stop. Before that one, I bought one from a Walmart, and it was also a 400, but the 400 from Walmart got fried. So spent a lot of time yesterday hunting down a power inverter. This truck has a built-in power inverter, and I didn't do research on whether it would work for the computer or not. It works for most computers, just not such a really overly powerful laptop. I think my laptop is the hardest to charge of pretty much all laptops, so it's, you know, it's one of those things. But finally, we stayed at Walmart last night. Walmart's right over here. There was a Lowe's right next door. Finally found a 750. The problem is a lot of these bigger power inverters, like none of the 800s have this type of a 12 volt connection. They only have these battery hookups. So I finally found this 750. We'll be good to go. I'll be able to keep getting these videos up on YouTube for you guys as we're going. We're on our way now to Chick-fil-A. Trying to stay a little healthy. We're doing Chick-fil-A for breakfast, then we're doing our beef jerky and trail mix and things like that for lunch usually, trying to drink a lot of water. It can be difficult to stay healthy on the road, but I'm trying to really show you guys how you can do that. So we've solved the electronics issue. We're gonna hit Chick-fil-A, hit the gym, kind of get a little more organized up here. We got real organized last night. We bought the new mattress pad. It was amazing. And we're gonna be going from here and heading to Cheyenne, Wyoming is the goal for today. So next time I update, we'll probably be at the gym, but just wanted to give you guys a little morning update. Again, this is day 3 and just getting started. So we just got our Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is an awesome, actually the best healthy food option that's fast food. So we got the breakfast burrito, but got it with grilled chicken and no hash browns. So it's just eggs and grilled chicken in a roll-up, in a tortilla. So it's really just a great little snack. We're gonna hit the gym here in a bit, but had this guy order about $1,500 worth of stuff. If you order that much, I give you a little bit of a discount. So he emailed me, said he wanted tomahawk, EDC kank, money belt, and I think an aluminum bone breaker. And I hooked him up on the price. So if you do want a big order like that, he was in Australia, so I shipped everything to Australia. If you do want a big order like that, I'll hook you up. But I listed it as the full price. Some guys like me to do that, some guys don't. If I don't list it as the full price, then if something comes up with insurance, that's your responsibility. I'll list it as whatever you want me to list it as. But he wanted me to list the full price because I told him that that's how I do it unless you request otherwise. And now there's some kind of crazy customs form that Australia requires, and we're on the road getting that taken care of. Like I said, I had to get this power inverter, which this one's awesome. The other ones didn't work hardly at all. This is Shoemaker brand, and it's awesome. 750 watt. It's powering both the Apple laptop and the Alienware right now, which is a crap ton of power. Then we've got this little thing powering everything, pretty much everything else we need to power. Completely stock Tahoe, new Tahoe. No extra battery system, no anything like that. So we'll see how all that goes. But for right now, I mean, we just got some extra accessories and haven't had to build anything into the truck, and we're doing great. Now that we've got this new power inverter and really kind of mobile on the road, ready to go. So, like, you know, just wanted to show you guys, I do whatever it takes for customer service, and you know, that's what it is. If we got to stop and do something to make sure somebody gets their products, I'll do that. I'm always available through email. You know, if you don't get me, then, you know, I've had some serious emergencies when I've been overseas and stuff like that. Some really bad stuff happened recently in the last year, and really crazy stuff, and that's the only time really that I haven't been available. And if you aren't available, if I'm not available, or if you can't get a hold of me via email or the contact section of the website, then you know that there's some really serious stuff going on. And I appreciate those of you who have bared with me over my really crazy stuff that happened recently overseas. And I survived that situation through the grace of God, and really just got to give him props, because not in no way me being tough or anything like that is how I managed to make it out of those situations. I was in very difficult situations, some real hardships, and but I got to give credit where credit's due. So little thank you to the man upstairs.
How you doing, guys? My name is Jay Ashman, the owner of this gym called Kansas City Barbell. We're located downtown in Kansas City Crossroads Church. We've got 1714 homes. This is a coaching gym. Every client that walks through the door is put into a program of strength-based work, either weightlifting, powerlifting. We have a strong and fit class, and we have a barbell beginners class. It's not a gym that you just join and walk up the street and say, you know what, I'm gonna work out how I want. No, we're gonna help you. We're gonna coach you. We're gonna give you the program. We're gonna get you better. We're getting you stronger. We're getting you faster. That's what KC Barbell is all about. We're not about just walking in and saying, you know what, I'm gonna bro out and do what I want. We're about building you up, making you better, making you stronger, and making you a part of the community that we have right here.
All right, guys, we're about to get this workout in. We did our warm-up yesterday, so we always start with the same dynamic warm-up. If you want to see the dynamic warm-up for upper body that we did yesterday, we'll go ahead. You're gonna have to watch yesterday's video. So that was already posted by the time you're seeing this. We do the neck mobility, upper body mobility. I'm gonna show you guys right now the leg mobility briefly, and then we're gonna do power development, a little bit of strength, and some cardio for lower body. So what we'll do, basically, for our leg mobility, we'll start with our upper body normal mobility that we always do, then we'll go to the legs. We'll do leg swings from side to side, 10 to 20 each leg. Leg swings from front to back, working through the full range of motion. All right, then we'll do our hip mobility, coming around here and then around to the front. You can do that walking or standing. And we'll do toe touches, walking toe touches. Take a step down to the ground. Again, the reason we do our dynamic warm-up before our exercise is because static stretching before you work out can lower sport performance and lower your ability to actually get a good lift in. And that's the brief version of what we're gonna be doing. Again, watch yesterday's if you wanna see the full upper body mobility. Leg swings, working through the full range of motion, and then opening and closing the hips. All right, guys, there's a lot of different ways to do kettlebell swings, and there's a lot of different ideas on the principle. I am a proponent of the Russian system, so there's also a lot of different things you can do with a kettlebell. You can focus on power development, you can focus on cardio. A lot of times at CrossFit gyms and things of that nature, they'll focus on cardio with a kettlebell, and it's not necessarily what I use kettlebells for, but it's something that can be done. So I want to just go ahead and say that right out of the way. My kettlebell workouts and my training and my principles come from Dan John out of Utah, one of the top strength and conditioning coaches out there right now. Check out danjohn.net for his stuff. Most of it's free. And he's also a Russian kettlebell master, one of the few in the States. So he's a really great guy. I'm nowhere near as good as he is, but I've had the privilege of learning from him a little bit. I'll go ahead and talk about what we're gonna do. We're gonna start feet hip to shoulder width apart and slight bend in the knees. Now, this power development with kettlebell should be a posterior chain movement, and it should be a hip hinge rather than a knee bend. So a knee bend is gonna be a squatting movement. This is a knee bend, this is a hip hinge. All right, so hip hinge is something necessarily, if you want to learn how to do it and think about it, you can take your hands Put them on your hips. Once you unlock your knees, feet hip to shoulder width apart. Push your butt back and try and crush your hands in your hips, okay? You notice how my knees don't bend? That's a hip hinging movement. It's very important to have scapular retraction with the shoulder blades back, that natural curve in the spine. And you don't want to look down at the ground, because when you look down at the ground, you'll start to get all out of form and bend this way, and you want your back up from the side angle like this. All right. Hip hinge is here. Knee bend is here. All right, that's the difference. Show you guys a few kettlebell swings. All right, and when using kettlebell for power development, you're throwing the kettlebell up with all the force that you can and stopping it at the top, using your lats to slow it down, and then throwing it back down with all the force that you can again, and using that hip hinge, and then slowing it down with your hamstrings at the bottom. Very different from what you would do for cardio, which you're gonna just be swinging and trying to actually conserve energy. And in this instance, where you're developing power, you're actually trying to utilize as much energy as possible every single rep. A little bit of leg strength. Gonna get away from the traditional squats we've been doing and do some goblet squats. They've got some really heavy kettlebells here, which is awesome. Something you don't see in every gym. I'm gonna do some goblet squats with this one. I'm not sure how heavy it is. Feels really heavy. I'm probably just weak, but I'll show you guys what goblet squat is. You wanna hold the kettlebell here. If you can, you wanna come elbows inside the knees at the bottom. Heels always on contact with the ground. Drive through the heels. Shoulder blades, always scapular retraction, chest up, eyes up at the bottom, okay? It's gonna look like this.
Turn this way.
That goblet squat was quad dominant, so we're gonna hit some hamstring. The kettlebell swings were hamstring and posterior chain, but we were doing that for power, so we're gonna hit a little bit for strength, maybe strength and hypertrophy. Anywhere from 5 to 15 reps, you'll be fine. Getting in from strength to hypertrophy ranges, 3 to 4 sets. RDL, very similar movement, hip hinge, straight leg RDL. Slight bend at the knee. If there's no weight on the bar, you want to come below mid shin. If there's weight on the bar, just touch the weight to the ground. As a finisher, I'm gonna do a little bit of cardio and mix it in with some MMA stuff, some martial arts stuff. I try to get as many different real world or working scenarios into the work that I do. I try to make it everything I do as functional as possible. So this is one of the variations I use. I do jumping jacks, but I try to put some MMA footwork into the jumping jacks. Jump down and do abs. So we transfer from standing and jumping, running, punching, kicking to the ground work with abs. And the idea is your heart rate spikes when you're jumping around and doing that kind of stuff on your feet. And then you get down and do abs and your heart rate slows a little bit. So you wanna try and hit your maximum heart rate on your feet, which is 220 minus your age. And then you wanna try and hit, when you get down to about 130, maybe 140, depending on your level of, and that's beats per minute, depending on your level of fitness, then you jump back up and spike that heart rate again. So another way you can do it is periodization. You can do like 30 on, 30 off. That's seconds, different things like that. But again, jumping jacks, running and punching, footwork stuff, kicks, combinations, and then just switching between those and abs on the ground, crunches, Russian twist, V-ups, leg raises, all that kind of stuff. That's our finisher for today. Real quick workout. but something you can easily do on the road. And you may not be able to have some big dumbbells like this or some of the better equipment that they have here, but you can still do the same principles, and you can do this cardio workout we're about to do anywhere. 1714 is the address, guys. It's Holmes Street, like what's happening, Holmes, and basically great workout. That cardio, guys, about 30 minutes. I didn't mention that, but this is a really nice district, Kansas City Art District, really cool. If you're looking for a one-on-one coaching gym with some knowledgeable coaches, check those guys out. All right, guys, we're on the road, leaving KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri, and there's a cool bridge coming up, so
Missouri
I figured
River,
I'd show you guys. This is the Missouri.
Just kidding, it's the Mississippi.
The Missouri?
You'll never know.
It's the Missouri. In Missouri, you say Missouri. Everywhere else, you say Missouri. Goal for this evening is to hit Cheyenne, Wyoming. A little bit of a drive. We should be there around 9:30, 10, something like that, though. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Had a great workout, as you guys just saw. Really cool guys, really cool gym, and we'll update you when something else cool happens. I was working on getting your YouTube video, yesterday's YouTube video, up onto YouTube, and we needed to stop and get fuel, so we have an application that we are actually using to aid us in the fuel refueling process. And on the way, we stopped and saw this really cool store, but I will let my assistant tell you about the fuel application. Assistant, will you please explain the fuel application?
Okay, hey guys. I found this app called Gas Buddy. Gas Buddy, it's amazing. I just go to my app and I'll be on my route on the interstate. I put in my location. It just tracks your location when you're using the app. Just don't allow it to use your location all the time unless you want to use the trip setting. But you basically put in your location. It shows you a map of all the places near you and the prices of all the fuel. So you can see, like, maybe 50 miles down the road, there's the cheapest fuel, cheaper than closest to you. So you can plan your trip out where the cheapest fuel is, and it really, cents down on fuel really help save you money on your trips, money that you can spend on doing really fun things. So Gas Buddy.
Really fun things like?
Really fun things like going to Western wear stores and blowing money on ridiculous boots you don't need. What's the deal? It smells amazing.
It smells like leather. Oh, pretty cool, actually. Is it just me, or does that guy look exactly like me?
You need that material.
I'm pretty sure I have that. I don't have that color shirt. I have that same shirt in blue. How much do you think that costs?
Oh my gosh, 3,000.
1,500? Nah.
Yeah, easy.
Does it have a tag? Does it have a tag on it? Nah, 1,200. Come on, it's a steal.
This is Circle Y, one of the best barrel racing saddles you could
Circle
buy.
Y barrel racing saddle.
Amazing.
Good barrel racing saddle. For those of you that don't know, I did a little bit of bull riding and I was terrible at it, so I quit. And my assistant's an excellent rider, so.
You don't see any Stingray seated saddles, so I'm not impressed with the saddles yet.
No Stingray. Well, we are not in Texas.
They have those in Florida.
I know they have them in Florida too, but I said I know they do. All right. Hats. So you guys have heard of a 10-gallon hat. I'm pretty sure this is at least a 15-gallon. I'm thinking about getting it. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Pretty much the coolest hat I've ever seen. Pretty awesome. They got some great hats here, not gonna lie. That is, it actually complements my outfit quite well, I think. That is incredible. Look at that. Would you look at that? Not really. I mean, a lot of kind of cool stuff, but there's a brand called Horsepower that I hadn't seen before that I like. That was the Fort Kearney Archway. So we stopped at a hibachi place that has sumo wrestlers for dinner. Fuji Sushi in Grand Island, Nebraska. Well, it's Fuji Japanese Steakhouse actually. We got the hibachi and it was average at best, but it's the best hibachi grill in It's the best hibachi grill in Grand Island, Nebraska. And the only hibachi grill.
Nebraska!
They haven't seen that video yet, so they don't even know what you're doing. All right, we're back on the road. We are in Walmart parking lot, Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's been a long day, and we're about to call it a night. So this is day 3, signing out. Bone out.